Good morning and welcome to episode 1650 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Today, Pat's kicking us off. What do you got, Pat?
I got some legal takes coming out of the January 6th pardons. It's interesting legal takes. I got some.
You are a legal expert.
I'm the legal expert.
Trump's leading it off with a lot of pardons and pressures to let people.
It's a legal bonanza right now, and I'm also talking about Denny's, which might be some bad news if you're a Grand Slam kind of guy.
I am.
That sucks. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love the American classic Denny's?
The only place I liked more than Denny's as a Ute was Bob's Big Boy.
Were you Denny's over IHOP? I mean, obviously Bob's Big Boy.
I was until probably like around when I was able to drive. But yes, as a child, that's where
I feel like the order is Waffle House, IHOP, Denny's. Like when you see them on the highway, right? In the order of like which one. You guys have a different order than that?
I can confirm. No, I mean, that's a pretty good order. Waffle House. I can confirm that the hotel I stayed at for the Super Bowl had a 24/7 IHOP in the lobby. You didn't have to leave the hotel. And that was convenient and nice.
They still let you smoke in there in the IHOP?
You could do pretty much whatever you want. You're not supposed to, but you could vape for sure. Vaping was going on. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, legal question real quick, Pat, for the legal expert from They Call Me Big Joe. They call me Big Joe. Sorry, must be a Cincinnati guy. Pat, my license got suspended today. What should I do?
Jesus Christ. I mean, if it's for like fines or like not like fucking registering shit properly, like do that. I don't know, bro. I've never had that issue.
Need more information.
I will say here's a fun legal hack if you don't know it. If your license is about to expire, okay, a lot of states have the ability for you to get a new license online because it's lost or damaged, and they will issue you a new license, which sometimes will extend the expiration date on your license. Just an FYI.
That's
there you
awesome.
go.
Little temporary loophole there. I've got a segment called Canadians in the Sea on deck.
Okay.
Canadians and the Sea. It's self-explanatory.
I see. They have a lot of sea up there.
They do. A lot of coastline.
Big sea.
Took a
big coastline.
Took a big L in that Four Nations tournament a couple days ago.
Oh, they sure did. We're going to mention that just to make sure everybody's going to tune in because America, you need to tune in on Thursday night.
So nice they'll do it twice Thursday night. I want some more of the fists Thursday night.
A couple more knuckle sandwiches.
Yeah.
And Mark, what do you got to close up the show?
I've got a monkey monkeying around in Sri Lanka and a plane that is it's upside down. It's on the wrong. It's not right side up.
Plane.
Yeah. Like a big plane.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to flip.
No, they did like that. Isn't that the landing in is there either Sully or the one with Denzel where you fly?
No, that is the Denzel one where he's drinking.
Flight.
Yeah,
flight. Denzel flips it. There was also the dude who flipped it when he stole the plane that one time.
Guys, I think it's called getting inverted. I mean, I didn't see the new Top Gun, but right, okay. Let's just use the proper terminology. I'm excited about Mark's story because there's a piece of information in that story that blew my fucking mind, which I'm very fired up about the aviation industry.
Cool. I'm not sure I have that information, so you can chime in with it.
I will.
Yeah.
You know I will.
That's why you come to Hard Factor.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you come to Hard Factor.
80% accuracy.
That's right. Real quick before we get into the legal corner and the news about Denny's, this is absolutely insane. So, like, on the eve of Donald Trump being inaugurated, he launched a meme coin. You guys remember that? Or like right there on the eve. Which, like, having been caught up in the meme coin bullshit, as longtime listeners of Hard Factor have experienced that, I was like, what the fuck? Can you get weirder than this? Can you get weirder than this? Then Melania dropped her meme coin. And look,
Portnoy did it, right?
Well, okay, so let's talk about what happened today, because this is fucking insane. So Dave Portnoy, our former boss, has been getting in the meme coin game, right? He's got his trader thing, which is cool, whatever. Like he picked, some guy made a joke coin about him called Jail Stool, which is like, you're going to jail. And he like did a very Portnoy thing, which is like embraced it fully and was like, I'm putting my dollars in there and I'm not going to take them out until it reaches a certain market cap, which is really what your risk is with a meme coin. Is it for someone to either have a structure or rug pull in the contract, right? Which any halfway decent coder can look at and tell you there's a back door here, but most of us don't have that expertise. Or a rug pull like they did at Hawk2, where it's like, let's quickly cash token out. So Portnoy saying I'm going to keep my token in to a certain level essentially is like protecting a liquidity pool, which is kind of cool.
He's saying that, but it never really works, right? It never really works because even when that like one person, unless they own like the entire stake of the coin, when like the people pump it, then they dump it together. You know what I mean? And so it's always like pump and dumps. The community does coordinated pump and dumps. You know, it's a crazy thing. The whole shitcoin industry.
Well, it's gotten so much crazier. Yeah. We were in it like years ago, and
2021.
Yeah, and like that was pretty early wave. And to get involved, you had to like basically jump through 8,000 hoops. It was really shady, and like
China's waking up.
Well, now it's really easy to get into. Like the kids are all in it, like on the Photon deck and like the Solano. Like it's like basically it's so much bigger than it was in 2021. Like every Tom, Dick, and Harry is blowing all their money on meme coins now.
Well, still, you're hoping for a, still. I mean, the
easy entry.
Yeah, easy entry, but it's also 99% of them you're going to get burned because you
they're all
at the right time.
They're almost all rug pulls. Yeah,
there's literally no utility to almost any of them, and they're not functionally spendable. But look, I'm trepidatious. I don't like Portnoy getting into meme coins because he's going to bring a bunch of guys into meme coins that are going to get burned. But I do like his approach, his like call it like you see it approach when he's saying like, hey, you know, I'm going to keep my money in jail stool in the liquidity pool because that like is a protection. But here's what happened today, which is fucking insane.
Trend, yeah, a lot of people doing these meme coins. Yeah.
All right, so this morning, okay, or on Monday morning, Argentina's president Miele, he tweeted about a meme coin called Libra. He was taking a little page out of old Donnie John Trump's book. He launched a little meme coin, and this is right before I guess he takes a trip to the United States. And what ensued is kind of fucking nuts. So first of all, speaking of Portnoy, how this happened, I don't know, because there's two Portnoy stories. One is that he bought $170,000 of the wrong token, the wrong Libra.
Can happen.
Okay. Which is very easy to have happen. Yeah. That's the thing about shit coins.
Yep.
They'll pop up. There's no regulation. So like if you know, this fart coin could be taking off and someone could create a clone fart coin.
Make it.
And no takebacks.
No takebacks. You're fucked. And most of the time, the clone fart coin literally has that backdoor I was talking about, which is like different than a coordinated rug pull where everyone's kind of pulling their dollars out. It's like a code piece where everyone could just drain. You know, the programmer can just run off with the money, literally. So
right, like when Trump creates his coin and everyone knows about it, and it was doing well until the Melania coin. Like all of a sudden, there's 300 fake Trump coins with just like a slightly different letter here or there, and you better make sure you're in the right one.
Exactly. Yeah. And one other thing that Mark pointed out: these new tokens are built on the Solana blockchain, which is like cheaper gas, less scammy than the BNB blockchain, but it's getting out of scam anyway. Whatever. Portnoy bought 170 grand of the wrong Libra, and then tweeted about it. Now that Libra spiked 3,000% because everyone, as I said, he's bringing these dummies into the space, and I don't mean
nobody's buying Argentina's coin. Okay,
I was one of those dummies. I'm not calling. I'm just saying inexperienced.
No, we're dummies. This is right up our alley. Yeah.
So then people were trying to get in on the Argentina coin, but
we're going to get to that.
This wrong coin that Portnoy tweeted.
So this is what's weird as shit. I'm trying to figure this out. So he brought the wrong coin and then tweeted about it. It was like, I brought the wrong Libra. Who wants any of this bullshit Libra coin? Total rug pull. That 178's gone. He then he bought some other Libra coin, which is the actual Libra coin. But the guy that was coordinating with the Argentinian president gifted him 6 million Libra token. I don't know what the actual value of that is. And then asked Portnoy to not disclose that he'd been paid for it because obviously they paid him to shill the coin. By the way, this is where you start to get into legal issues.
Well, yeah, that's the problem is if they pay you, you kind of have to disclose it for legal purposes.
So Portnoy said, he tweeted, I can't accept the coins.
If you promote it, you have to announce you have a financial stake that you were gifted. Otherwise, you definitely can get arrested.
So this is the same Libra. This is the president's Libra of Argentina. He gave the coins back, saying, "Like,
So
quote,
that busted the coin.
I
even
can't
more.
accept the coins if you don't let me say you gave me the coins. It's part of the project."
Right.
He said, "Just saying, what the fuck? That's the no bullshit attitude coming into the crypto space." And then the Argentinian president deleted his tweet because it turned out to be a total fucking rug pull.
What?
And yeah.
Oh, who was pulling the rug? Him?
So essentially, what I think happened is the Argentinian linked up with a developer, okay, who probably meant to rug pull the thing the whole time. The Argentinian president was like, "Trump did it, so I can do it." He did it. The developer then reached out to Portnoy, compensated him in token to pump the token after buying the wrong token. It was a real mess this morning.
Nobody really made a ton of
That's
money on this
typical
besides
day.
the wrong token people. The wrong token people took all the cash.
107 million of liquidity went in and went out somewhere.
Yeah, damn. So, but a lot of that went to the wrong token. So they like
Well, if
the
both-
one developer of
both
the
Libras-
Argentina one. Yeah.
Both Libra's creators won.
The guy
Yeah,
who
exactly.
won was
That-
the guy that
that's how
created
it
the
works.
clone token.
Yeah.
That's how shitcoins work, by the way. Is that no matter what happens, somebody created it, did the coding to make it happen, and that person always walks away with all the money. That's just how the shitcoins work.
I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like, there's if you get in the algorithm, first of all, on like Instagram or something, if you fall into the shitcoin algorithm, good luck getting out. I'm kind of in it right now. It's every other post.
I'll
May as
say
well
this.
download Telegram.
It's
Just
every other
dive-
post, yeah.
dive all
If you
in,
want,
you know?
if you want to put $1,000 into it and dedicate your like way more brain power
You
than you
sound
need
like
to,
every post I've been scrolling through, Pat.
you can steal a bunch of people's money. That's what you can do.
Kind of, yeah. They have the sniping
Yeah.
things, the AI bots. You get in, you get out, take gains. But it's so scammy, and like we said, like 99. There's maybe 3,000 coins pop up a day. It's like it's ridiculous, maybe more.
It's
and
absurd. Yeah,
like
it's a funny- it's a
teenagers,
funny
like
industry.
young teenagers, like preteens, are recording themselves pulling rug pulls. Like 12-year. It's so easy. 12-year-olds
Yeah, it's
can
awesome.
create these
Yeah, it's
coins,
funny.
and
Yeah,
then
they're
and then
robbing like old
video
dudes with
themselves
the money.
robbing tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars from people.
It's crazy. All right, let's move on to another legal issue potentially. And okay, so remember that Trump pardoned all like 1,600 J6ers, right? Including the violent ones. Inside baseball,
Right, and then some of them like reoffended immediately.
Well,
right.
well, yeah. Well, I mean that
At least
happened.
one of them got arrested the next day. Yeah.
Inside baseball is
Couple,
it was
right.
too big of a pain in the ass to look at every guy. That's the inside baseball. So they just said,
Yeah,
this
they
is
weren't.
easier.
That's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, except it was done on the other side by the Department of Justice. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, Edward Kelly, who's 36 years old, he was pardoned like all the other dudes. And Edward Kelly, he was accused of tackling a police officer from the back. There's video of it, assault on a police officer. Not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he went to jail. But he was out on bail waiting for the jail, waiting for his charges.
Dude, you got to be so yacked
Edward
up
Kelly.
to break into the Capitol and then tackle a cop from behind. You were out of your mind.
Yeah, he kicked in a window of the Senate floor. I mean, he was in full tactical gear. I mean, he was there to do one particular thing. He wasn't like the
He's
guy
ready
that
to roll. He's
wandered
taking
into
back the Capitol.
Right, that wandered into the Capitol accidentally. He assaulted a police officer. Okay, and I guess while he was out on bail waiting for his trial, he got real mad at the FBI who was investigating him.
Well,
So mad.
Stayed mad at them.
He stayed mad. So mad, guys, that he came up with a kill list, 37 FBI members that he intended to
That'll
kill.
get you in trouble. Yeah.
And he was specifically targeting the Knoxville FBI building, which I think is the Tennessee headquarters of the FBI.
He made these notes online somewhere, and he's just
He was working. He like went to a guy and was
Google
like,
Docs.
Let's kill all these FBI members. And the guy was like,
FBI kill list.
the guy was like, uh-oh, and the guy ratted on him. Now
Like the character Memento, he had him all tattooed on himself.
it was apparently pretty plotted out. There were drones and car bombs that were going to be executed at the FBI building. I mean, he really wanted to kill these guys that were investigating for.
Guy can't
tackling
stay
a
out of
cop.
trouble, this Edward Kelly.
He planned this whole thing out. Did he have any of the materials, or did he just have the manifesto?
He had the names, communications. He told two of his co-conspirators when he was suspicious that the feds were closing in on him. He said, "quote Call who you need to, and you're going to attack their office. And once you guys have enough people, you don't have time to train or coordinate. But every hit has to hurt. Every hit has to hurt."
He thought his like militia was going to stand up and seize an FBI office in his name.
That's
Finish my work.
It's finished my work. Yeah, avenge me. Okay.
What the fuck was this guy thinking?
All right. So anyway,
Yes,
he's pardoned. Okay, but guys, this other charge of trying to kill or plotting to kill FBI agents took place outside of the January 6th situation. Okay,
Right.
but his lawyer, this is where it's getting really interesting. There's a couple of these we're going to talk about. His lawyer, Mark Brown, filed a motion to dismiss in court, saying, quote, this case is unmistakably related to his charges in Washington, D.C. and covered by his presidential pardon. But for the Washington, D.C. incident, this case would have never been investigated, charged, and prosecuted. The cases are clearly related to each other, and clearly, from the presidential's executive action, he should be pardoned.
That's just Mark Brown doing his job. You know what I mean?
Mark Brown's essentially saying,
Hard to argue that.
He wouldn't have had to plot to kill the FBI agents if they hadn't arrested him for tackling a cop.
And
in
the
first
next
place.
12 things he does are also related to January 6th. Yeah.
All right,
Clearly.
well, guys, as
Clearly
Will
related.
pointed out too at the beginning of this segment, there's a ton of these guys that are reoffending or have other charges pending, and every single one of them is arguing, in fact, that all their charges should go away independent of what they did at the Capitol.
Well, I mean, no, that's not going to happen. Like, there's no way. Like, unless Trump, he would have to keep repardoning them. You can't pardon. You can't the pardon wasn't for, if I remember correctly, it was not for like anything.
Okay, so
forward.
here's the technicality.
Get out of jail free, not get out of jail free forever.
The pardon was
Right.
broad and sweeping, again, because it was laziness in the first place that just gave it to everyone instead of the nonviolent offenders. And it says related to, all activities related to. So here's
related
another.
to, yeah, sure, but they can make that argument. But then the first appeals judge that go, I mean, they're going to turn it up. Like,
Well,
even if some of these guys get off, like on a local super conservative judge, it'll go eventually. Like, it would go to a level eventually where it wouldn't be approved.
This next one's pretty interesting, though, Will. Like, let's say they illegally search your car, okay, and they find drugs in your car, right? Evidence of it. It's fruit of a poisonous tree, I believe it's called.
And so you're saying like, oh well, I'm addicted to drugs because I got J6 put up.
Well, let's talk about 30.
I got pinned up by J6. So
Let's
now
talk
I'm a
about
drug addict.
37-year-old David Paul Daniel. Here's David Paul. David
He
Paul,
did drugs before January 6th. You can tell from the photograph. It's okay.
no, drugs was an example. This is way worse. So David Paul, I guess during a frantic search of David Paul's home in November 2023, related to him bear macing a police officer on January 6th at the Capitol, the FBI found child sex abuse images of a female minor younger than 12, taken between
It's related to
2015
Jan 6.
and 2019. Well, his lawyer said, quote, pretty much all the evidence of my client's underage pornography crime stemmed from the raid due to his January 6th
They
involvement.
would have never looked at his hard drive.
Which
I would have checked that child before January 6th, during and after.
those charges are null and void. Okay, anything flowed from that case should be given the pardon. And
Where is he from? I mean, again, locally that might get
Mint
through.
Hill,
But then
North Carolina.
yeah, see, like, yeah, if it's rural North Carolina, the local judge might be like, shit, yeah, but I mean, like, it'll get kicked up, and then somebody will be like, no, this is ridiculous. Go to jail for child porn.
We'll see. It's one of many. They are interesting legal challenges, right? Because it's like technically fruit of a poisonous tree. Maybe it's like if they.
This is like if they somehow mailed
It's
their
such a
pubes
stretch.
to politicians or FBI while in jail for the January 6th thing. You could maybe argue that, like while they're like sending
Like,
hate
while
letters
in
to
jail,
January 6th
exactly,
people,
like yeah,
while they were in jail, still stewing over January
a
6th.
pube letter, yeah, you get
Other
off on that.
crimes are not.
Look, Your Honor, President Trump clearly said all related crimes, and yes, the minor was related to my client. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
oh, guys, we'll see what happens. Finally, y'all, Denny's is closed at about 178 locations. 178 locations, if not more, maybe 188. A lot of locations. Denny's people are just saying because they got old Denny's. This brand's been around for 70 years. You're gonna have a lot of old Denny's. There's still going to be around 1,200 Denny's in the country, so don't freak out. But that's a lot of Denny's to be closing.
You know what this would be like, though? This would be like if because Bowen's having a hard time right now. This would be like if they were like, you know what, our planes do suck, so we're just going to take out all the ones that were built before 1996, right? And then so you're just left with less. I mean, because like Denny's, yeah, sure, it's like the Boeing of the land. It's like you don't want to be in a Denny's necessarily, but you do like breakfast food, and same with the Boeing. You don't want to necessarily sit in the Boeing, but you do like to fly and get somewhere exponentially faster.
Don't compare the corporate ethics
fair.
of Denny's
That's
to
not good.
Boeing, please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are 3 on my list. I definitely Waffle House and IHOP for me above the Denny's if I had to rank.
You guys need to cool out. Like I'm going to cool out here with
Hmm.
Lucy. That's right. I'm talking about 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco free. Where's my
You're right.
Lucy's? I got one in my lip now, and
Just
they're
show us
around
your
here
mouth.
somewhere. Guys, I'm using the breakers, which are nicotine pouches with a little extra surprise. Each pouch holds a capsule that can be broken open to release extra flavor and hydration. If you know what I'm talking about. I personally love the berry citrus. I love the mango. Right now, I'm having an espresso. I use a 4 milligram breaker. I highly recommend it. What do you guys like to throw in your Lucy's?
Mango
Well,
12.
I've been Mango 12s, but on Thursday of this week, I've got a shipment of Breaker Berry Citrus 8s pad coming. So there you go.
My berry citrus is hit tomorrow, Tuesday.
Mm.
How did I get them? It's pretty simple. I went to lucy.co/hard factor, which you can do. You can level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/hard factor. Use promo code hard factor, one word, to get 20% off your first order. They have a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind, but you won't. Again, that's lucy.co. Use promo code HARDFACTOR. Get that 20% off. And real quick, here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Lucy, the best. We're going to talk about Canadians in the sea in a second. But first, if you're going to be spending time with Canadians on the sea, the only clothing I can suggest is Bird Dogs for that situation. It's versatile, flexible, and quick drying. Okay. Do you see the quarter zips that me and the boys are wearing right now? As you can tell, glorious in every shade. I've got the let me see what this one's called, the Snob Dylan, which is the navy. Pat's got the ash, the gray ash, looks beautiful. Mark's got the Carolina blue. Fantastic looks across the board for us today. Thanks to Bird Dogs. These quarter zips are incredible. And if it's the only look I would go with if I was going to be on a Canadian super yacht, because
Oh yeah.
it looks way nicer than my regular clothes. What I mean is Bird Dogs is like Lululemon, but for men, classy, upscale, but still ready to get dirty or wet, much more likely wet at a moment's notice. You know what I mean? Because they look great. You're going to get wet, especially around the crotch area. The quarter zip and pants will improve your wardrobe for almost anything that you're doing in your life, from work, to just going on a hike, going out, whatever you need to do. You can wear Bird Dogs for that. They're going to be the top picks in your closet for all those activities. So comfortable, stretchy, durable, good cuts, complement your body. So many pockets, like on this Q zip. Look at this. I got this pocket over here. Maybe it's on like the hip pocket, a zipper. It's zipper. You might not want to have that little circular indentation in your pants like a lot of us have. Maybe you want to have it over there in the hip, a little hidden away, in your QZ. You can do that with Bird Dogs. Very comfortable. So many pockets. You keep finding new ones for months. I like to buy mine a little big since they're form-fitting clothes, but that's what makes the ladies love them so much. When my wife saw me in the new quarter zip, let's just say I'm hoping that we'll not accidentally have another kid in 9 months, because it got hot after she saw the QZ.
Yeah, my wife almost crashed the car into the garage when I came out to greet her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Quarter zip equals just the tip.
Yeah, at a minimum. And the side pocket might be for condoms for those of you that wear those, because you're going to need them.
Isn't just the tip always at a minimum?
Yeah.
You're damn right it is. And so for a limited time, join us in all this hot action. Our listeners are getting a free hat. This hat is so comfortable. I'm telling you, my most comfortable hat. You can wear it, flip it backwards, looks great. Free hat with any order when you use code HARDFACTOR at birddogs.com. That's for a limited time. Our listeners get a free hat with any order when you use code HARDFACTOR at birddogs.com. Get their best-selling hat completely free when you use code HARDFACTOR at birddogs.com. Support our show and let them know we sent you. Bird Dogs.
And again, you're going to want a hat for both your heads. So they got half you covered, but
oh yeah. You're going to need a second hat for sure.
Or you're going to have to roll the dice if you don't have a condom, because it's on.
Yep. Bird Dogs. Really, I mean, look, Bird Dogs, they've been with Hard Factor forever. You know it. Bird Dogs. Support them. Support Bird Dogs. Support Hard Factor. It's a winning combination. Okay. Canadians in the sea. Canadians in the news a lot recently. As we mentioned, like Mark said at the top, 4 Nations final Thursday night. This Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time in Boston on ESPN. You have to tune in. If you've been living under a rock, the USA beat Canada 3-1 in Canada on Saturday night, which is like a historic event after having the U.S. anthem booed and 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. An epic game went down in Canada for the U.S. hockey team. The rematch, and this is the 4 Nations again, it's replacing like the NHL All-Star break. The rematch final, Canada versus USA, is again this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right after we tape Thursday night. If you watch us live in Boston on ESPN,
I mean, they're going to throw down right at puck drop, right? Again,
USA. Oh,
Yeah.
I hope so. The Chuck brothers. I can't even say their names, but
No.
they can fucking
They can't
throw the
either, but
fists.
yeah.
Who are the 4
And
nations?
score goals. It's awesome.
Finland, Sweden, Canada, U.S. And U.S. is the number 1 seed. They've been waxing all that ass. And like Will said, the boys didn't take kindly to the anthem being booed, so they got into 3 arranged fights.
Well, it's only good. I love
as the
it.
game started, they said the second this game starts, we're fighting because your
I
fans.
think
suck.
they had it. I watched some interviews with the players. They said they had it worked out way before the booing of the anthem. And so I think they're like, I think it's basically just like, look, it's on. The USA is coming for that ass, Canada, in hockey. And, we got the first one in a long time. Hopefully we get the second. Bring home that cup.
I'm not like super knowledgeable about hockey, but what I do know is I really enjoy when the U.S. beats Canada, similar to like when England does poorly in soccer. It just makes I get really happy when a country that's so obsessed with the one sport fails at it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the inventors, basically. I think. I don't know. Canadians had to have
Yeah,
invented hockey,
they're going to claim it. Russia might.
Had to have invented hockey. Maybe Native Americans. I don't know. But the NHL has claimed the title.
Was polyamory, as we discussed. That's Eskimo Brothers.
But the NHL has claimed the title of best All-Star break officially for any North American sports league.
Yeah.
It's official.
A little better
Speaking
than
of Canadians,
football, a little better than Chris Paul and Wembyani and cheating in the skills competition, throwing fake shots up like idiots. Yeah, not as good.
Yeah, the other ones have been pathetic this year. So yeah, hockey wins. It's awesome. Tune in on Thursday night for real. It's your duty as an American. And speaking of Canadians, one of them created potentially the funniest tourism headline of all time in Turks and Caicos last week. I'm just going to read it to you straight up first because it's that great. And then we'll break down what happens after that, okay? Tourist loses both hands while trying to take photo with shark.
So
Tourist, again, tourist loses both hands while trying to take photograph with shark.
How'd they lose them? Well,
Mark, it's funny you ask. And I know it's dark, but also
propeller.
How do you think she lost?
Did the shark bite her hands off, Will?
Yeah, it did, Mark. I know it's shocking. You wouldn't think I know it's dark, okay? But the details back up why the headline is also somewhat comical. Just besides the fact that it is. Just off the top. I'm sorry, it's dark, but it's funny. As the headline states, it was not an accident. Okay, the unnamed 55-year-old woman, Canadian lady who was on vacation last Friday in Turks and Caicos. She was chilling on the beach when she saw a beautiful shark swim up into the shallows just near the edge of the water. Whoa! You're on vacation. You're Turks and Caicos. You see the shark.
You get the fuck out of the water.
No, it's got to be. This is nature telling you, right? This is your time. This is your time to connect with nature.
Right, but then you have the lifeguard telling you, get out of the water.
No, I don't even think she was in the water when she saw the shark.
Or she went into the water.
So naturally, she grabbed her camera and waded into the water to get close-up pictures of the almost certainly bull shark that was swimming in the shallows. And then she leaned in to take the pictures. And as Mark had correctly guessed, the shark then chomped off both of her hands. It took her up on her offer of both hands, and it ate them.
Did she squeeze one off while her hands were inside the shark's mouth? Because that would be some pick if she.
I think the phone is in its belly,
just the inside of the mouth.
Didn't have her flash on.
Yeah, not sure. Maybe it's a waterproof camera. Maybe they can salvage it. But yeah, it also bit her thigh. Her husband then hopped in and scared the shark off enough to get her to the beach and bandaged up. And she's been treated, okay, both in Turks and Caicos, and returned to Canada for more treatment. I'm assuming she will be okay. It sounds like she will be okay. She's traveled and everything, multiple treatments. So, international travel back. Hopefully it sounds like she'll be okay. Unfortunately, no more hands though. One was taken off at the wrist, the other halfway up the forearm. The shark apparently stayed in the immediate area for 40 minutes, hoping to finish the meal. So, given that type of behavior from sharks that they display, that they naturally have, being sharks, it's advisable not to walk directly at sharks unless accompanied by an orca.
Yeah, her career in carpentry and close-up magic's over. Maybe she could go out there and do like awareness, because she could just walk right out there with two stumps, and it's like, this is a pretty good don't mess with sharks visual here.
I don't understand.
No, Pat, nobody understands, because nobody has ever done this before, I don't think. Every other shark attack I've ever read about was somebody who's in the water already, or snorkeling or something like that. This is the first one I've ever seen.
I think there's a few people in her life that predicted something like this would happen to her.
Did you say? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some people that were not surprised when. I mean, they were shocked at first, and then they thought about it.
Her husband was right there. How do you not tell her, honey, don't walk at the shark?
There's a few people that behind her back were like, she's stick your hand in a shark's mouth, stupid.
What? Okay, I got to figure this out.
It's confounding, Pat. You'll never figure it out.
What kind of shark was it? Did they say exactly?
A bull shark, the most aggressive kind towards humans. It's literally.
It wasn't a lemon shark, Pat.
Yeah, it was. It was a 6-foot bull shark. It was the worst possible shark for any human to just walk up and try to take a picture. It wasn't
a whale shark.
All right, so a bull shark's bite is 1,300 pounds per square inch PSI.
Easy, takes off a couple hands.
It says it's one of the strongest in the animal kingdom, but I'm just trying to understand, how could you take a couple hands off clean?
It did.
I mean, it took a couple grinds of it, but yeah, sure.
It took one hand off clean, and the other one was severed at the forearm and just dangling. But I mean, it basically took both hands off clean.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
What a bad vacation.
That sucks.
Bad as it gets. Yeah,
it sucks.
I'm sorry for her, and I hope that she's recovering fine. Sounds like she is recovering fine. Also, just offhand, one of the funniest tourism headlines that could possibly ever. I don't think you could get funnier. I know it's a horrible event, but in a dark way, I don't think you can have a much funnier headline than somebody grabs their camera and walks straight at a shark and gets their hands.
Well, now she's got a decision to make. Like, do I tell the next 10,000 people that I have to tell, or not, don't have to, but likely will tell why my hands are missing, why they're missing, or do I make up a story?
You're a hit at parties when you tell that story. That's one of the funniest stories of all time.
Well, I made a mistake.
I mean, yeah, that's like, you got to own it. You lean into it.
So upsetting.
Yeah, but yes, it's upsetting, but
it's sad. But
it's sad she lost the hands, but again, you got to lean into it.
It wasn't like her mom took formaldehyde or whatever Elton John they sing about in the Fire song.
Thalidomide.
Yeah, formaldehyde. It wasn't like a medicine thing.
Mm-hmm.
She just walks.
She put her hands in a shark's.
Right.
Billy Joel won't sing about this. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, real quick, speaking of the sea, China has been listening to Mark. This is a good segue to you, Mark. They've been listening to you, and they will be building a deep sea research lab in the South China Sea, over a mile deep, to see what's going on down there in cold seep ecosystems, and then because all of their gas down there, half of their gas is down there, so they can't get to it. So they want it up and running by 2030. That's the real reason they're going.
It's a smart move.
Yeah, but worst assignment ever, dude. Imagine going down to the fucking deep sea lab. All right. You're down there for 6 months.
They should send the handless lady down, or keep the torment going.
Yeah. Which one? The witch lady?
The handless lady,
Oh, right.
the armless lady. Send her down to the ocean. Okay.
Gonna get much worse.
Well, let's stay overseas. Let's head to Sri Lanka, whose entire power grid went down, and the incident is being blamed on one single monkey that got into a secure area and pulled out some wires. Sri Lanka's national grid's making ERCOT look like the sun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
it's an
wires
island,
did you
right?
pull?
It's like, yeah.
Which wires did you pull?
One monkey pulled out some wires in a grid, and he took down 22 million people's powers. It was 86 degrees and humid last Sunday when the
awesome.
macaque just
It sounds like bullshit though, right? Like
it could be.
You think
It's
it's
a
the power
guy.
company just
someone
covering it up?
fucked up, and there was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, you always have monkeys to blame it on if you live in Sri Lanka. I guess you can always be like, well, fucking monkeys, man.
It's a two birds because the monkeys have been acted up, so now people can go beat the monkeys to death.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The energy minister.
Yeah.
It could be Pat. I'm with you. The energy minister Kumara Jayakodi said a monkey came into contact with our grid transformer, causing an imbalance in the power system. He was later seen to be cursing at monkeys off camera. Yeah.
It's awesome.
So hospitals, water plants, and everyone's power all went out for half a day because one macaque got into the grid substation in the Colombo suburb, disrupting a transformer, which led to a cascading failure, something ERCOT and other people know about. So he took down enough power, they're claiming, from the one, whether it was a monkey or some human, fucked up the Colombo suburb grid, which was a waterfall effect of the entire grid. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think this is a situation where like if you look at a problem in a foreign land where you don't understand it, like Australia, like why can't they just keep the snakes out of houses? And like an Australian would be like, oh, you stupid rube, if you only knew that you just can't keep snakes out of houses, right?
Right.
It seems like such a solvable problem unless you live in Sri Lanka. Are monkeys that way down there, I wonder? It's
well,
like,
Pat, to that point, how is this
shouldn't it
the
be monkey
first
proof?
time? How is this the first time that this has happened?
Try to make
No,
anything
this-
monkey
you guys
proof. You
nailed it.
can't.
No.
This is
I think
clearly
this
a lie because monkeys probably have been in the power grids every day for the past 300 years.
You're going to be
Since they
called
had power.
incompetent either way, whether you say it was a monkey or it was one of your staff. But as you pointed out, you get the bonus spin zone of, well, let's just be violent towards the monkeys now. And then it's like it's a deflection. It's like, yeah, we're incompetent. Yeah, we should be able to keep the monkeys out. However, I mean, we didn't pull the wires out. Maybe you should beat up some monkeys.
Wasn't Raul.
Yeah.
It was the monkey. They're claiming he was like the gremlin on the plane in the Twilight Zone or the school bus in the Treehouse of Horrors homage, and he just pulled out the right wires. Not great for Sri Lanka, considering there are tons of monkeys, attention-seeking monkeys there, and that monkey definitely told his friends that if you fuck with the power grid, you get attention. It drives the humans nuts.
A lot of them. Yeah, a lot of attention.
So
and they've been having a rough go, Sri Lanka. They had the coup with where everybody took over the presidential pool. It's just been pretty. It seems like it's always turbulent in Sri Lanka.
were they a part of a big tsunami too?
No, bro, 2006, gigantic tsunami.
Not Sri Lanka. This is a crazy one. Let's end on this. Another plane crash or accident, however you want to call it. This is like the 20th one of 2025. This time it was a Delta flight from Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport to Toronto. And once again, the incident happened on landing, which seems to be a major theme of late. A lot of issues with the landing gear and just during landing, skidding and not good stuff with crashing. Look at this fucking plane. Do I have an image of it? This plane is upside down. I don't know how exactly what happened, if they were going too fast, but it flipped perfectly without breaking. And it just is completely upside down.
That's fucking crazy. So they skidded to a halt upside down, basically.
Yeah. And they all got off the plane, 18 injured, including a child who's in critical condition. So far, everyone survived. Everyone survived, but there's a couple people not doing well. And here's a video taken from inside the plane from one of the guys that was getting off the plane. This is crazy.
Everything, drop it. Come on.
Filming himself getting off an upside down plane.
They told him to don't take any videos. That's
Holy
crazy.
fuck. Holy fuck.
Did you hear the flight attendant?
Yeah. Oh, this is a bad one for
Holy
Delta.
fuck. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, this dude's got to be jacked up from the adrenaline.
Yeah, you don't remember to
Yo, I was just on this fucking plane.
have your
crazy.
most polite diction when you're in that scenario.
Well, yeah, you're just you're.
He's happy to be alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy cunts!
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Cunt dicks! Put a dick in my ass! I was on that plane.
I hope he got paid for that video because that's a shitty day. That's fucking crazy. Sorry for all those people. I mean, the kid in critical. That's horrible. I saw there was at least like 2 others. Right? It's not good.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you just land on your head, right? That's just like, I couldn't imagine. I guess, yeah, so there was 31 mile an hour gusts, 40 mile an hour winds.
Oh, maybe they got flipped over by the wind, like rolled over.
Yeah, they landed in like a snowstorm.
Right.
Like a
That
blizzard.
seems ill-advised potentially.
Here's what blew my mind. Didn't know this. Mitsubishi makes planes. It was a Mitsubishi plane.
Oh, that's
Not
That's,
a Boeing. Not an Airbus.
We just found out Mitsubishi made planes, and then we found out that they flip.
Yeah, add them to the list. Go ahead and put that up there. That's gonna.
Not good.
Not the greatest way to
We
introduce
need to
yourself.
keep a running list of this stuff because
Yeah.
this is it's getting serious.
I mean, how the fuck? I mean, like it must have taken off.
Like, we've all been on a plane where, like, when they're landing, it goes like wobbly, and you're probably like, oh, we're wobbling a little bit. Oh my god, we're flipping.
that much wind though? Like you'd have to have so. It has to be like how strong did you say the gusts were?
40 miles an hour is not that strong.
That's not enough to flip a plane, right?
It's a lightweight, but it's a 90-seater.
It's probably because the guy was applying the brakes at the wrong time, and then a lot of these like landing gear things, like they've not been coming out all the way or braking correctly. So
He said we hit the ground and we were sideways and then we were upside down. That's
Sideways.
One of the guys.
This is like rolling your truck into a ditch. Kind of what he
I
did.
just don't understand.
I don't
It
like
touched
playing-
down at 213 and then it flipped.
Careful
Fuck.
on your flights.
I hope the people in critical pull through. That's. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad that everybody else survived. That's crazy. Normally you see this shit and it's like everybody. Yeah. So.
Well, they were spraying the plane down because they're like, this thing might blow. We saw that too. Like, they're like, oh,
Right,
boy,
yeah.
hose it down before it blows up with 50 people on board. But they got off.
Yeah.
They got off. So kind of a good ending. Everyone lived.
Yeah. Hey. That's a good good omen. Hopefully the other 3 pull through. Yeah.
Don't pet the sharks and maybe don't fly Mitsubishi. That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Most importantly, get out there and have a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!